The door doesn't close loud, but it hit Su Nyan's spine like a stuffy hammer. The wrought iron door of the Liu family villa swallowed the black sedan that brought him back. He stood in the cool early autumn. The one in my hand was sent by Shenkang Sanatorium with blurry red letters. It seems to hold only a few changes of clothes and a cloud of air. The really heavy stuff is crushing in his bones. In the depths of his eyes, Nyan welcome sounds home. Like velvet wrapped in honey floats from the front. Stood on the porch steps in a soft beige cashmere cardigan, long curly maroon glowing hair, softly in the sun. He had the right amount of concern and welcome on his face. Reached out as if to take the shabby bag. Su Nyan's respirator was untraceable and once accidentally spilled hot coffee. Once accidentally tore her only decent dress. Also in the dark. Steadily put that cold brooch. Put it in the compartment of her body school bag. Reacts faster the than her brain. Zhongru's fingertips touched the canvas bag as if hit by an electric on the polished granite floor. Yeah, Su Nyan quickly lowered dedicated to the toes of the white canvas his shoes. Shoulders curled in. Sounds as fine as with a mosquito tremor. I'll do it myself. He crouched down. The handle for the bag with trembling fingers. Whole process. He look at Zhongru as if the other party was some kind of monster. Luzi walked out. He was thinner than Su Nyan handsome remembered. Faces with mixed emotions. About everything. There is still a trace of impatience. He saw that is not just frowned invisibly. Just come back. Luzi's voice was rather gentle. But there is a sense of distance in that the room is tidy. Go up and rest first. Lima helps the eldest lady. A middle-aged woman called Li Ma stepped forward. Let her take that light bag. She kept her head down. Follow Li Ma. Footsteps enter this luxurious and unfamiliar his room is at home. The end of the corridor on the third very floor. Well lit. Outside the huge floor-to-ceiling windows the room are is simply furnished, even a little to deserted. Brand new bedding. An empty closet. There is nothing on the desk but a lamp. There is a faint smell of detergent in the air. Cover up all the breath of life that may remain. Like a fancy guest room or a prison cell. Li Ma put down the bag. After a few simple explanations, gently bring the door. Left. The moment the door locks closes, Su Nyan leaned against the door, slowly sitting on the ground. He was keeping his head down. The golden yellow that covers the whole body like a tide. He looked up. Deep amber eyes. The emptiness and fear in are its gone. Place is a deep pool of calm. He stood up slowly. Walked to the center of the room. I sweep every corner like searchlights. The edge of the ceiling chandelier. Above the wall decoration. The desk is facing the angle of the bed. His eyes froze framed above the head of the bed. Just like any other smoke alarm. On the white plastic device. His red light. It flickered very slightly. The corners of Su Nyan's mouth twitched slightly. That's not a smile. More like a confirmation. Ziyan is right. They want to let go. A person who has come back from surveillance such a place is inevitable. He goes to the window. By the angle of the setting sun from the inside of the carry-on in an extremely hidden mezzanine. Pulling out a tiny vanity mirror. He adjusts the angle. For specular reflection. The light outside the window slowly swept through several specific areas of the room. For the obvious ones. At least to hidden audio or video capture points. Limited dead ends. But not without. He went to the bed and sat down. Fingers caressed the edge of the pillow seemingly the fingertip touched an extremely slight strange bulge. He quietly pinched. Feel the inside. That little voice recorder thinner than your pinky finger. And a few grains wrapped in tinfoil. The hard contours of special pills. This is the amulet Ziyan gave him. A recording pen standby time very is extremely long. Pills can be taken at a critical moment. Psychoactive Keep drugs. Your head clear. He spent half a year in Shenkang Sanatorium. On Earth. Boiled for half a year. The excruciating pain of the electric shock. Chaos after the strangulation. The caregivers of the cold restraint and abuse. Those memories are like gangrene. Will come out and bite him at any time. Hold him time. He's not crazy. Except for the survival instinct. It's a thank you banquet. The young one is too much. His eyes are like a doctor who has experienced too many stories. Not like other doctors. Holding the medical records. Stupid questions from above. But looked at him quietly for a long time. Then say your eyes don't look like most people here. He didn't take him for a lunatic. He listened to all his crazy talk. Being framed. About being abandoned. He was silent for a long time. Then tell him healthy or not is defined by them here. But your brain is your last bastion. Want to get out alive. You have to learn to build your defenses with their rules. Even fight back. He became his teacher. Taught him the basics of psychology. Teach him behavioral analysis. Teach him how to recognize how to take advantage of fears and prejudices. He taught him to simulate symptoms. Teach him how to relay information under surveillance. To maintain one's final clarity under drugs and torture. If you can remember that anger can burn you, but calm hatred can become the sharpest knife. Your job is not to become one of their demons. It's about letting the devil show up in broad daylight. Now he's back. With the will and knowledge forged by Ziyan. Back to this fortress of lies and bigotry. Revenge is not the goal. Ziyan said it was just a means. It's about taking back control of your life. Is to inflict injustice on him. Get what he deserves. Step 1. It's about playing the perfect role of a successful, fear of patients who need to be strictly controlled. A harmless, even sympathetic ghost. Dinner time. Your mother is knocking on the door. The restaurant is brightly lit. The long table was covered with a white tablecloth. Silver tableware gleams coldly. Lu Ting sits in the main watching financial news on a tablet. He was more dignified than Zunayan remembered, wearing a shaved dark gray shirt. Even the cufflinks are meticulous. Hear footsteps. I glanced up. That gaze is like a cold probe, with assessment and a hint of subtle boredom. Zunayan's heart tightened for a moment. Not afraid. It's cold confirmation. He located his troubles from no change. Zhang-Ru is already sitting on Lu Ting's right-hand side. He immediately showed a gentle smile. Especially your favorite yam pork rib soup. She pointed to the position next to her. Sat on Lu Ting's left. He nodded to Zunayan. Zunayan lowered her head and sat down at the position designated by Zhang-Ru. Fingertips curled up slightly. He stared at the smooth plate in front of him. As if there was something up there that attracted him. The dinner began in a slightly stagnant atmosphere. Lu Ting hardly speaks. Occasionally, he also asks about Lu's plays the perfect mediator. Whisper something innocuous. From time to time, he served care about Luzi. This shrimp is very fresh. Zhang-Ru caught a shrimp with chopsticks. Put it into Nayan's plate. Zunayan stared at the shrimp and didn't move. After a few seconds, it's like he's just reacting. Very slowly, pick up the chopsticks and clumsily pick up the shrimp. Finally give up. Put the chopsticks down gently. Keep staring down at the plate. Lu Ting frowned invisibly. Lu Zi tried to ease the situation. Is it not to your liking? What would you like to eat? Let the kitchen do more. Zunayan shook his head. The voice is almost inaudible. No, big brother. Nayan just came back. It may take time to get used to. Zhang-Ru opened her mouth at the right time. The environment in a nursing home is not the same as at home after all. Stop looking at Zunayan. It seems that looking at it more is a waste of energy. The soup. Ears catch every sound, every pause. Lu Ting occasionally revealed almost a mild response. Lu Zi's floating on the surface with a sense of distance. Zhang-Ru's those who seem considerate. In fact, she kept emphasizing that she had just come back from a special home as when she left half a year ago. Nothing different. No, it could be worse. Because of the return of her stain. Let this false harmony. It becomes more fragile and she is like a ghost, sitting quietly in the corner of the devouring silent smoke and cold hatred. A few days later, in the small garden behind the villa, happened to meet someone sitting alone on a bench. Someone here. Leng Zhang-Ru sat down beside her. Brings the fragrance of a high-end perfume. She's wearing a light pink knitted dress today. Seems particularly gentle and body machine frozen detectable. I just hugged my knees tighter. What a nice environment here. Much better than a nursing home. A delicate voice as soft as a feather. I remember Shenken. See, I should have mentioned that. He covered his mouth, eyes showing just the right amount of chagrin and sympathy. You must have suffered a lot there. I've heard some of the treatments are scary. Does electrotherapy hurt particularly? Breathing suddenly quickened. He turned his head sharply. Pupils dilated slightly. Looking at Zhang-Ru's filled with real, biological fears. His lips began to tremble. Fingers clasped tightly around his arms. His voice broke. With a crying Zhang-Ru looked at his reaction with satisfaction. His face was full of apologies. I shouldn't say these stimuli. It's over. Later at home, there is a big brother, a second brother, will hurt you. He reaches out his hand. He seemed to want to pat Zunayan on the shoulder. Zunayan felt like she was being bouncing off the bench, staggering back to steps. And you never look back to the villa. Zhang-Ru looked at his back. The gentle smile on the face is gradually turned into a cold mockery. It seems that place has indeed treated him obediently. One word could break him. He didn't see the moment Zunayan rushed into the shadow of the villa porch. Rapid breathing calmed down most against of the cold wall. Pull the miniature recorder out of its cuffs. Confirmed it. The indicator light is still flashing. Concerned words just especially now. When it comes to electrotherapy has been clearly recorded. Zunayan raised his hand. Looking at my trembling fingertips. This trembling wasn't all acting. Zhang-Ru's words. It really brings back those purgatory memories. He saw the other party's eyes the clearly. Malice and pleasure that cannot be hidden. He is enjoying his fear. Zunayan closes her eyes. Take a deep breath. When you open it again, there is only ice left in the eyes. The first round of testing is over. Zhang-Ru confirmed his vulnerability. And he also confirmed that Zhang-Ru was as vicious as ever, but potentially useful. The game has just begun, and his illness will be the next best weapon and shield. At least it's been a few more days on the surface. Zunayan reclusive. Spend most of your time in a room occasionally on the 3rd floor. In a days on a garden bench. He keeps his distance and is afraid of especially everyone. Lu Ting seems to be satisfied with his peace of mind. That tight pressure is slightly relieved. Until that satyr that changed everything. Lu Ting rarely did not socialize. Also pushed the date. Looked particularly I personally happy. Cooked to dishes. Ting's favorite dishes. The atmosphere in the restaurant seemed a bit warmer than usual. Is still sitting in his old silent seat. Eating. The soup was served by Zhang-Ru milky herself. White fish soup aroma. When it's Zunayan's turn, Zhang-Ru holds a soup with a sweet smile on his face. The wrist is undetectable and extremely natural. Of piping hot soup. Most of it was spilled on the back of Zunayan's and hand some splashed on her light-colored skirt. Zhang-Ru gave a short Put down the soup bowl immediately. I'm scrambling to get a tissue. Panic and guilt written all over his face. Missing me didn't mean to. This bowl is too slippery. A little more. I accidentally poured the water glass in front of Zhu Nian. It's all drizzled on a skirt soaked in soup. Zhang froze, instantly red circles. At a loss, he looks at Lu Ting in the main position. The voice is full of crying and grievances. I really didn't mean to. Miss you. Don't be angry. I have encountered this situation in the past. Will jump up in a clumsy wipes. Incoherent explanations then under the comparison that Zhang looks more even more rude and ignorant. In the end, it attracted the blame of the brothers. This time Zhu Nian didn't even I didn't look at the back of my hand, which was rapidly red and swollen. And sticky her gaze slowly moved away from the mess in front of her. It was moved to Zhang rendered written all over innocent faces, as if frozen for a moment under the luxurious chandelier of restaurant. Lu Zi also looked over. They saw Zhu Nian's body begin to tremble. The trembling was lit at first, becomes intense, pulled quickly. His thin shoulders. Even the table with the heavy tablecloth have a subtle resonance. His breathing became louder. Pupils dilate a little bit. Out of focus. Staring blankly at the void. It was as if he had seen something extremely terrifying. There was a hoarse air in his throat, like depression trapped in a nightmare. His hands jerked up. Hold your head tightly. Fingernails deep into the scalp. Electric shock device. No. I was wrong. I was really wrong. He suddenly let out a shrill scream. The body shrinks back like a shrimp. Chair legs and marble rubbing floor makes a harsh and sharp the sound of that screaming continued. Everyone was affected by this sudden illness. Zhu Nian's headshot in a manner diametrically opposite to the previous trembling speed and force. Swing out. The crisp and loud slap sounded like a thunder, splitting the stagnant air in the dining room. Was slapped in the face. The whole person of the fan carefully managed chestnut curls are messy, covering his instantly twisted covered his face and looked eyes up, full of incredible astonishment, and the anger and resentment that almost erupted. The burning pain goes from the cheek to the brain. That unexpected humiliation. He almost screamed and scolded on the spot after the slap. It's as if all my strength has been drained. He slipped down the chair. On the floor, crouched into a ball. Put your face in your knees. Makes a muffled broken whimper. My body was shaking. Mouth repeating confused words. Don't close the dark room. I'm going to cry. I was wrong. Seconds of dead silence. Lu Ting suddenly stood up. What he saw. No. One sister hit another sister. Diagnosed with mental illness with violent tendencies. After being stimulated, an uncontrollable attack occurred. His first reaction was not who was right or wrong. His eyes were as cold as ice. Looking at Zhu Nian curled up on the ground. No more sibling love. Only deep disgust and determination. Control must be tightened. Must be sent away if necessary. Also stood up. His expression is more complicated than Lu Ting's. He clearly saw the moment Zhang was beaten. What flashed across his face was by no means a weak and aggrieved look, almost chooses a person to devour. But it was deeply imprinted in his mind. At the same time, let's think about the fear that goes deep into the bone. The dark room pricked him like a needle. Is Shenkang Sanatorium really that scary? Zhang was initially angry and almost out of control. Acting instincts covering his face. Tears fell not pretending. The slap did hurt his tears. He turned to Lu Zi like a wronged child, whimpering into his arms. Second brother hurt, missing him. Is he Lu again? Zi's body is a little stiff. He patted Zhang on the back. His eyes drifted to the ground. The trembling figure. The accusation of being sick sounds again. Harsh at the moment. Enough. Lu Ting's low and cold voice broke the silence. With unquestionable majesty, Li Ma helped the eldest lady back to the room. Without my permission, don't let her out of the room. Lu Zi contacted Dr. Chen. Ask him to come over tomorrow. His eyes swept across Zhang swollen frowning cheeks. Tighter. I just told Lu Zi to take your sister to apply it to him. Isolate the source of danger. Comfort the victim. Seek professional advice. As for that's not one of his priorities. Maintaining the surface stability of the family. That's his job as a manager. Zhu Nian was heard by Li Ma and another servant. The room door is closed. It was even gently locked from the outside. When he was alone in the room, the curled figure on the ground slowly stopped shaking. Slowly raised her head. No tears on the face. The eyes are clear and calm. Only terrifying. The corner of the eye because of the forced and physiological. He moved his numb wrist. Go to the bathroom. Rinse the back of the still red, swollen and tingling hands with cold water. Deep amber eyes. There's no sign of a meltdown. There is only a bottomless pool. And the depths of cold quietly ignited a cold flame. It's a success. This slap is not only also strong, gave Zhang tested him in extreme humiliation. The true reaction of almost breaking the power. He is in the hearts of Lu Ting cast and very different stones. Lu Ting sees troubles and his solution destined to push him deeper into opposition. But it could also prompt him to take more extreme action, exposing more flaws. Lu Zi saw something suspicious. Saw the other side of Zhang imperfection. Saw the pain he might have endured. This hint of doubt and vague guilt. Maybe sometimes in the future. Exploitable fissures. The price is that he loses his limited freedom. They were more closely guarded. But that was to be expected. Ziyan said she wanted to. One must he first give. Zhu Nian, who has been repeatedly ill and has violent tendencies, and the inner scales of my brothers are slightly shaken. He went to the window down into the garden. Lu Zi is walking with Jong-ru, who has applied an ice pack on his shoulder. Seems to be still sobbing in a low voice. He's probably calling the doctor. Or think about what to do with him next. Su Nayan closed the curtains. Isolate that false warmth. He needs to rest. You need to think about the next step. Is just an appetizer. The next main course requires more careful preparation. Perhaps from this long night of imprisonment. One late night a few days later. Sound control lights in the corridor on the third floor of the Lu family villa. Su Nayan was wearing a long white night hair dress. Loose. Eyes empty and dazed. Walks slowly like sleepwalking. His right hand holding a handful from the kitchen. The largest bone cutter. He stopped outside the room of the nanny whose mother was instructed by Jong-ru in his diet. Secretly took the drugs that caused him to feel dizzy his arm and many times when no one was him there. As an accomplice to the bad luck of the motionless outside the door. After a few seconds, he began to use an erratic whispering with a strange reverberation. That's not gibberish. They repeated it word for word. When Ho-ma pinched him. Dirty words in a lowered voice. Even Ho's mother was unique because of the cold at that time. A vivid imitation. Unlucky things are also worthy of being eaten by something good honestly. Don't block the second lady when you are dizzy. The originally sleeping mother show those familiar and terrifying words that got into my ears. Her eyes in a Listen carefully. The sound stopped. She thought it was a nightmare. Turned over. Su Nayan waited outside the door for a few seconds. Start repeating another paragraph in the same tone. If your arm is twisted blue, dare to tell. Second you knocked it yourself. There are ways to make you more uncomfortable. This time, Mother Ho heard it clearly. The words, that cough is clearly what he did back then. What you say. But outside the door is that crazy lady. How does she know? Isn't she crazy? Is it a ghost? The extreme fear instantly seized Homa's heart. She sat up abruptly. Cover your mouth and sweat all over your body. Teeth are shaking. He dared not make a sound. Dare not turn on the lights. Don't even dare to breathe too hard. I can only stare at the direction of the door with wide eyes. Listen to that ghostly voice. Intermittently repeating. I don't know how long it has been. The sound and footsteps outside the door gradually faded away. Like being fished out of water. Stay up all night. The next morning, Shoma, who was in a trance and had a pale face, broke a Qing Dynasty porcelain vase on the side table. It alerted Lu Ting, who was looking at the file. Lu Ting shouted sharply, looking at the tiles on the ground. Face. This bottle is worth a fortune. Shoma fell to her knees with a plot. Begging for mercy. He was crying like he was broken. Master, I was wrong. I quit my job. Please let me go. I can't do this job. Ghosts. Lu Ting was stunned by his abnormal behavior. Then more impatient. Nonsense. What makes sense to break things? What the hell? It's the eldest lady. She said those words at my door in the middle of the night with a knife. Shoma is incoherent. Slug tears those words only I know. How would she know? Isn't he crazy? Is he? Are you entangled? Young master, Back then, he also took a little bit of poor care of the eldest lady. I took a little money, but I didn't expect this. I was wrong. Let me go. His words were upside down. But it did reveal some key pieces of information. I said that only Ho-ma and I knew. It was Ho-ma who admitted that she treated and received badly from Jong's brow twisted into a pimple. Su Nayan sleepwalking with a knife. It's more violent than he imagined. More threatening. As for what Ho-ma said is to take the money. He instinctively refused to delve into it. It means to re-examine Jong-ru. Examine the piece of this home. He hates trouble. Enough. He interrupted Ho's mother, waving irritably. Since you don't want to do it, go out and don't talk nonsense. He took care of it hastily. Shoma-ma's breakdown and vague confession. It comes down to Zu Nayan another bad thing brought about by this source of trouble. The scales in his heart tilted more and more. I want to solve this problem in the monitoring room. Night vision footage from the previous day was called up. Zu Nayan sleepwalks the figure whispering at Homa's door is clearly visible. Cold eyes. He called in his assistant. Contact Director Wang of Shenkang Sanatorium. Did not rise or fall. In his case, if readmitted to the possibility of intensive treatment and the procedures to be completed. The assistant nodded in response. Eldest young master. This is a determined decision to deal with this hidden danger. All of this was locked in the room. By some subtle signs. For example, Mother Shou did not appear as usual. The hurried arrival and departure of Lu Ting's bodyguard guarding outside the door. I can clearly sense the fish because of the smell of blood. Coming to the center of the net. And he needs a stronger rope for the net. Opportunity comes soon. When Lu Zi came to see him again, Su Nayan hugged her knees and huddled in the corner of the bed. In a still weaker but clearer voice. Second brother, I want to see my mother's photos or what she used. I can't remember what she looked like. Her eyes looked out the window empty. With a confused sadness. Lu Zi was stunned for a moment. Young. It's a shared pain in their siblings' hearts. When Su Nayan was retrieved, Mother passed away a few years ago. Her request is reasonable. It's kind of poignant. Maybe after the slap. Haunted Zu Nayan with a trace of guilt. Zu Nayan is particularly vulnerable at the moment. Lu Zi hesitated for a moment. In the warehouse over there in the old stuff from Mom. Sealed and untouched. I'll show you. but only for a while. Big brother would be unhappy to know. Nodded lightly, drooping eyelids. Cover the glimmer of light in your eyes. The old house of the Liu family is an old European-style villa, usually vacant. Only leave someone to clean the warehouse regularly. It's full of dusty furniture boxes. Dimming light. The air smelled of dust and old things. Liu Zi turns on the light. He pointed to several boxes labeled with the lady's relics. See for yourself. Be careful not to break it. Zhu Nian nodded. Go to those boxes. Liu Zi leaned against the door. Take out the phone. Seems to be processing information. Zhu Nian's movements. Very slowly with a cautious nostalgia. He opens a box. Inside are some old clothes. The material is style is outdated. He gently stroked the neckline of a Qian Sam. Another box. It's some books, photo albums, and fragmented jewelry over every item carefully. Suddenly, in a carton marked Daiwan, he saw a familiar tinge of dull purple. His heart skipped a beat. He crouched down slowly, reaching out to remove a few old sweaters covering them. The fingertips touched something cold and hard. He took it out. A butterfly brooch studded with amethyst. The edge of the wing. There is an extremely fine irregular scratch. It was the stolen goods that Zhongru framed him for stealing back then. That such an expensive brooch is missing. Was found in Zhu Nian's school bag. Is speechless. Arguing and shoving. Brooch fell to the ground. The scratch was accidentally scratched by the sole of his shoe. No one pays attention to this detail. Probably thought the brooch then just fell. Scratches. No longer perfect. Just discarded it at will. I didn't expect him to be here. Zhu Nian clenched the brooch tightly. Cold metal cuts the palm. Bring clear pain. It also brings an unparalleled sense of authenticity. Hard evidence. He was quiet. Tuck the brooch into the inside of your coat. In a sewn-up concealed bag. Then I continued to look at it for a while. Finally picked up an old photo album with yellowed paper. Second brother walked to Liu Zi's side. The sound is still low. I want to take this photo album back. Liu Zi glanced at the ordinary old photo album. And take it. He looked into his pale, fragile and the photo face. Album held tightly in my arms. The guilt and complexity in my heart came out again. When you are done. Don't lose it. Well, Zhu Nian nodded. In the car back, Liu Zi seems to want to say something. Several times I finally looked at Zhu Nian kept her head down. Fingers unconsciously wiped the rough cover of the album. The next step is more risky. After a few days, Su Nianyi wanted to listen to some relaxing music. I borrowed his laptop from Liu Zi. His request is reasonable. Humble posture. Liu Zi couldn't refuse. He handed her the computer and tell her the password. Su Nian sat at the desk. Turn on the computer. Connect to the network. He really searching for music. He quickly clicked on File Manager. Enter a hidden system backup folder. This is what Ziyan taught him. Some outdated automatic systems. Backup of certain temporary files. Even if the original is deleted, it may also leave traces. He relies on memory. Enter a possible date range. Start searching for video files. Time goes by minute. Beads of sweat oozed from his forehead. Although the bodyguard outside the door did not come. Suddenly, a file thumbnail popped out. Blurred corridor image. Time stumped the night before he got sick. He tried to use what Ziyan gave him. A simple recovery tool. Scanning and partial repair. Progress bar moves slowly. Just then, Liu Zi's voice came from outside the door. Did you find it? I need to use the computer for something here. Heart tightened. The hands don't stop moving. Quick tap to stop scanning. What will be restored is still blurry. But you can also see a slender figure. A few seconds into his fragment. Take a screenshot together with the file to encrypted USB then quickly close all windows. Clear record. Opened a music streaming website. When Liu Zi pushed the door, what I saw was Zhu Nian wearing earphones on the computer screen. In a daze on a classical music His finger is still on the touchpad, trembling slightly, pale than usual. What's the matter? Zhu Nian seemed to be taken aback. He hurriedly took off his earphones and stood up. Flustered in the eyes. No, nothing. Second brother. Do you want to use the computer? There was an imperceptible tension in his voice. Looked at him. I looked at the computer screen again. Nothing unusual was found. I'll handle some emails. Zhu Nian returned the computer to him. He walked out of the room with his head down. Go back to your room. Lock the door. He leaned against the door and took a few deep breaths. Just calm down the violent heartbeat. The second link in the chain of evidence. Pointed surveillance footage also arrived. Although not clear, but combined with other evidence. Enough to form a strong hint. Now, he needs to combine these two things. Delivered to Liu Zi's nose. Not directly. That's too deliberate. It's too dangerous for him to find out for himself. He took a high-definition photo with a tiny camera hidden in the room. And that surveillance screenshot. Printed on special paper as thin as a cicada's wing. The old photo album brought back on from the old house. That page. It happens to be a single photo of my mother when she was young. He put the photo album. Forgotten in the corner of the living room sofa under a financial magazine. Do it all? He goes back to the room. Wait quietly. This is a dangerous temptation. It was a gamble against Liu Zi's conscience. If he chooses to turn a blind eye, leave it to Lu Ting and Zhongru. Then his situation will take a sharp turn for the worse. Thanks for saying that sometimes. You need to give your opponent a chance to see where they really stand. The waiting time is exceptionally long. When did Liu Zi find that evidence? He only knows. One afternoon, a few days later, Lu Ting's assistant brought to strangers a burly nurse. came to her room. Lu Ting followed in person. She was wearing a suit. His face was cold and determined like never before. It's like looking at a dangerous piece of waste that opened his mouth. The sound has no temperature. Based on your performance and the evaluation of a professional condition is highly unstable. And there is a tendency to increase violence. Also, for the safety of this family, you must go back to Shenkang Sanatorium. Receive systematic intensive treatment. He took out a document and placed it on the table. This is the new treatment authorization letter. The nursing home has also contacted Director Wang. Personally responsible for your even case. The tone. He may not have noticed it himself. Cold mercy. This time we will choose a more effective treatment plan. Make sure you receive the best possible care. Su Nian sat by the bed, looking up at Lu Ting. There was no expression on her face. No anger. Even the usual cowardice and panic. It's all gone. There is only a bottomless, dead cold. She has finally waited for this moment. From blood relatives. A second, more decisive betrayal, and exile feels like it's completely frozen. Broken into ice. No more pain. Only boundless chill. He stood up slowly. Didn't read that document. Didn't he look at Lu Ting? Looked past him. The dim light in the corridor outside the door. Lu Zi stood there in silence. Avoided his sight. Pale mouth. With his lips pressed, he made a choice. The evidence to Lu Ting. And Lu Ting made decisions that best fit his managerial mindset. Very good. Su Nian gently closed his eyes. The last faint light in his eyes also went out. Only absolute calm remains. And the destructive power that is about to erupt. Okay, he heard himself say in a calm, terrifying voice. He obediently asked 2 nurses to escort him out of the house. One on the left and one on the right. No looking back. The car leaves the villa area. The traffic flowing into the city sits in the co-pilot. 2 nurses sandwiched Su Nian in the middle of the back seat. He wears a soft restraint band around his wrist. Lu Ting's last descent. It's his self-righteous control. No one speaks. The air in the car is oppressive and suffocating. Looks ahead, frown lock, thinking, how will this affect the group's reputation? Down to a minimum. You may need a report about a sudden illness, a vague statement of long-term recuperation. Then, he heard a slight click from the back seat. It's like a plastic clasp coming off. His heart skipped a beat. Back. I saw Su Nian sitting up straight. What's the restraint band on the wrist? That soft but firm strap. I don't know when it was unraveled. It slumped over his knees. And his face. Those cowardice that has been disguised for months. Empty, numb. It melts away like preheated ice. Instead of, it is a calm expression that Lu Ting has never seen before. Calm to cold, unfathomable calm. Those deep amber eyes were now clear and bright, like a frozen lake. And he was stunned. There is even a hint of horror on the face. Lu Ting opened his mouth. Clear and calm voice. No ups and downs, call him by his first name. It's like being held in a cold hand. He opened his mouth. Aphasia. Listen to this. Su Nian stopped looking at him. He lowered his eyes and pressed the phone he had been holding tightly in his hand. Zhang Ru deliberately lowered and discernible voice, accompanied by a middle-aged man's flattering tone. It rang in the enclosed compartment. Director Zhang Ru. The effect of the last electrotherapy. I heard about a newly imported drug. It's really good for calming down. Second, Miss Wang. Don't worry. I will definitely handle what medicine you told me. It is the procedure that requires the authorization of the curative effect. Might have to be a little bit out of the norm. Zhang Ru authorization is not a problem. My eldest brother cares most about the health of his family. You can decide. Just let him be quiet. Don't always think about going home. Just don't keep talking nonsense. Money is not a problem. Director Wang understands. I will definitely make the treatment records guaranteed that no one can pick the condition will definitely get worse and worse. Long-term closed therapy the recording is not long. But every word kills the heart. Lu Ting's face faded away at a speed visible to the naked eye. He stared at the phone in Su Nian's hand, as if it were some kind of monster. He can never hear wrong. And that Director Wang, Deputy Director of Shenkang Sanatorium. Su Nian didn't wait for him to digest the shock of the recording. Pull up a photo and hold it in front of him. That sent him to hell 6 months ago. The signature page of that electrotherapy consents to sign Dragon and through the paper. Next to it is his handwritten consent. Everything is subject to treatment. And this is another blurry picture. Screenshots of corridor monitoring. The slender figure that flashed into Su Nian's room became temple throbbing. He suddenly looked at Su Nian, eyes full of anger and disbelief, and something he doesn't even want to admit to himself. You thought sending me back would cover it all up. Su Nian's voice was still calm, but like needles quenched one by one into Lu Ting's eardrums. Pierce his self-calming shell. Use stronger medicine. Make a more perfect case. Shut me up forever. Stand there. He leans forward through the seat. Those ice-like eyes looked straight at Lu Ting. Constricted pupils. Word by word. Infinitely clear. My phone is recording. And through the encrypted channels. Real-time sync to my lawyer. And 3. I have been aware of the internal ciphertext media. Backstage from here to Shenkang Sanatorium. About 40 minutes by now car. You have 2 options. First, turn around and go back to the door yourself. Dealing with Jong-Roo. Admission of mistakes. Give me the apology and compensation I deserve. Custody of me permanently. Keep going. Let's go to the police station together. Screenshots of these recorded photos and our conversation at the moment. In half an hour. Make headlines in tomorrow's financial and social edition. Back in his looking out the window at the rapidly retreating street is as soft but as heavy as a thousand. Bro, is to maintain your lies and build home. Or for your stupid arrogance and one last remedy. It was deathly silent. Only the low roar of the engine and Lu Ting's heavy and almost painful The two nurses looked at each other at a loss. The driver also peeked in the rearview mirror. Lu Ting stared straight ahead. Veins bulging on forehead. Clench your fists tightly. Knuckles turn white. All his abacuses. All authority. All control. At this moment, it is the easiest and most direct and the deadliest way to smash to smithereens. He prides himself on his rationality became the sharpest knife he used to judge never really got to know this sister. He thought he was a plant that could be pruned at will, weeds. But I didn't he has returned from hell. Vengeance muse with the power After of thunder. After a long and suffocating 10 seconds, Lu Ting seemed to have been drained of all her strength. Loosened his clenched fist. He closes his eyes. When you open it again, there is only an empty ash in the bottom of my eyes. He told the driver in a dry, hoarse voice to turn around. The word return to the Lu family is light. But it seemed to have exhausted his life strength. Also announced the Lu seemingly solid fortress of hypocrisy. The inside began to collapse irretrievably. Sunayan didn't he look at him. Sat there quietly, looking out the window at the familiar streetscape. There is no joy in my heart. There is only a cold, barren calm. The climax of revenge is coming. And his stage, the one he once longed for, later hate, the home that is now about to be destroyed with my own hands. Not driving back to the villa. It drove towards the headquarters building of private enterprises, and it symbolizes Lu Ting's final domain that control is at stake. Lu Ting walks in front with a gray face. Sunayan followed him calmly. One step away. The two nurses have long been sneaked away. Hurried over when he received an emergency call. Confused and uneasy face. Jong-Roo was asked to come over and so act coquettish on the phone. Until Lu Ting used a cold tone like never before. The atmosphere in the conference room is so dignified that water cut off from the outside world. Lu Ting sits in the main seat, crossed on the table. The knuckles are white with force. He was afraid to look at anyone. Staring at the top of the smooth table, sat on his left, looking at the brothers and sisters with very different empty position that usually belongs to Jong-Roo. The unease in my heart is getting stronger and stronger. At the other end of the long table, his back is straight, hands on knees. There was no expression like on his lifeless face. Ice sculpture. Only those eyes are amazingly bright, scanning this space that is about to become a battlefield. Jong-Roo pushed the door with the usual face, adjusted gentle smile. Big brother and second brother. Call me over in such a hurry. His voice stopped abruptly because he saw Sunayan sitting opposite, and the unusually ugly faces of Lu Ting froze on his face. Sitting on Lu Ting did not look up. Voice. Jong-Roo sat on Lu Ting's right-hand side, the position furthest from Sunayan. He quickly adjusted his expression. Brother, you look so bad. Is it uncomfortable? Nayan. Are you feeling better? He tried to steer the conversation on the usual track. Didn't speak. Is looking at him quietly. Lu Ting took a deep breath. It's like summoning up the courage of a lifetime. He raised his head to look at Jong-Roo. Her eyes are complicated. There is disappointment and anger. More. It's the coldness of being deceived and betrayed. Jong-Roo opened her mouth. Dry voice. After Sunayan returned from the sanatorium. There are some things that need to be confronted in person today. Jong-Roo's heart Shen Chang smiled and said, "Big brother, confrontation with what? Did Nayan say something again? His condition is unstable. Sometimes they hallucinate. Gibberish. We can't take it for granted." Sunayan finally spoke, not loud, but it clearly spread throughout the quiet conference room. Is this also my hallucination? He took out his phone again, played the recording from the Jong-Roo's delicate and flattering conversation with Director in an empty conference room. The blood on Jong-Roo's face fades away at a rate visible to the naked eye. As her eyes widened, like seeing a ghost. Looking at the phone in Sunayan's hand, trembling. That's impossible. It's fake. It's synthetic. Brother, don't trust him. He's crazy. He's setting me up. Sunayan tilted his head slightly, with a cold mockery in his eyes. Do you need to find the technical department director identification? Hear his own voice in person. Jong-Roo was strangled by momentary loss of voice. He looks at Lu Ting in a panic. Tears quickly filled the eyes. Trust me. How could I do such a thing? I was raised by you. It must be Sunayan. He hates me. He envies me. So use this underhanded means. Sunayan interrupted him. The tone is still calm, but with a sharp blade. Instead of you putting this brooch back into my school bag, then they accused me of stealing. Which is worse. He took the amethyst butterfly brooch, lightly placed on the polished conference table. The crystal refracts an icy light under the overhead light. The tiny scratch is clearly visible. Jong-Roo's pupils suddenly contracted. Didn't this thing be thrown away long ago? How could you? Where did you find it? Counterfeiting doesn't mean anything. He screamed in denial. The voice has lost its composure. Counterfeit Su Nyan. Click on the mobile phone album. Bring up another photo. It was when Lu Jia celebrated Zhongru's birthday. This brooch is pinned on Zhongru's collar. After enlargement, the distinctive scratch on the edge of the wing is looming. Do you need to compare or recall? During the dispute, how did he fall to the ground? I accidentally stepped on it and left this mark. Zhongru shook her body, holding onto the edge of the table. There are also Su Nyan's fingers sliding on the screen. That blurry surveillance was projected onto a large screen the night in the conference room. 2:17 a.m. The person who entered my room. Is that you, Zhongru? But that hairstyle, that figure, that pajama dress that Those who know her well can recognize her at a glance. His eyes in before pain. He just suspected. The evidence is overwhelming. The kind and gentle sister he has always cared for. Lu Ting's face is not just pale. There was a kind of ash. He looked at the blurry but familiar figure on the screen. Then he looked at the calm and terrifying real sister. I look at this person with tears but full of lies. Adopted daughter with a heart like a snake. He has built a worldview for more than 20 years. He prides himself on his judgment and mastery. It completely collapsed at this moment. It's not. That wasn't me. It's a matter of angle. It was a coincidence. Zhongru turns to Lu Ting, grab his arm. Shout out, big brother. You believe I am Su Nyan? Everything is designed by him. He's not crazy. He's taking revenge on us. He wants to destroy the Lu family. Su Nyan's voice suddenly rose still 1 degree, cold, but with a long suppressed volcanic eruption. Finally, no longer hide his the bitter eyes stabbed Zhongru like a knife. I also swept Lu Ting and slander and sowed discord again and again. Paid the doctor, trying to shut me up forever with drugs and maintain their status as a fake daughter. Don't hesitate to push people with real his blood into hell. Echoed in the conference room. And you, he turned to Lu Ting and Lu Zi. The cold in your eyes can almost freeze you. Good brothers. What did you do? Lu Zi, you clearly saw the doubt. There is a chance to find out the truth. Because I dare not challenge the authority of my eldest brother. To turn a blind eye. Even helped her cover up the evidence you handed over. It became Lu Ting's help to send me into the fire pit again. What about your brother-sister relationship? Have you fed the dog? Lu Zi suddenly opened his paper. Su Nyan's every word was like a whip on his heart. He opened his mouth. I found myself speechless. Ashamed. And you, Lu Ting. Su Nyan's eyes finally froze, framed Lu Ting's and face. Contempt in the eyes. Let Lu Ting tremble all over. You keep talking about family responsibility, but your responsibility is to do it in the recovered sister as trouble and your shame. Your stability is to allow an adopted daughter even to helped her wipe her butt. Take me. The only as victim. A destabilizing factor that needs to be removed again and send again. Me to that cannibal place. You use the cold-blooded logic to manage the family. Efficiency controls the big picture. Hey, Su Nyan let out a short, extremely sarcastic your big sneer. It is to cover up criminals and persecute innocent It's just people. Being headstrong and making mistakes over and over again. Most push your own sister to a dead end. You ask yourselves for the past 6 months when I was in purgatory. What are you doing? Enjoying life was worse than death. Maintain your ridiculous family harmony that pretending to be biased that's towards not eccentricity. He was blind, is stupid, is cold. Su Nyan's chest rose and fell slightly. This is his most emotional moment. But soon, the intense emotions faded like a tide. Returned to the cold calm. He watched as he was crushed by his accusations. 3 lost souls. The last ripple in his eyes I'm also not here to hear your apologies. I don't need your confession. His voice went flat again. Apologize for the scar left by the electric shock. Can't get me back the half year of my life that was stolen. Ridiculous expectation. He took out another document, pushed to the center of the table. This is a draft agreement. My lawyer is working on the details. First, Home needs me for the past 6 months. Inhumane treatment at the Shenkang Sanatorium. And framed by Zhongru over the emotional damage caused by your biases. Make a formal and public apology. And make a compensation. Enough to protect my future and financial losses. My lawyer will give a reasonable range of specific numbers. Lu Jia must give up on me forever. All custody of Su Nyan. The right to intervene from now on. I have nothing to do with Lu Jia in terms of law or personal favor. Zhongru is suspected of even attempts to harm others through illegal medical means. I will hand over all relevant evidence to the police. Lu Jia shall not interfere in the judicial process in regarding any form. All the evidence I have and presented these problems today that exist within Lu's group needs to issue a proper statement to clarify the facts. Restore my reputation. The exact wording needs to be approved by me and my lawyer. Needles falling in the conference room has slumped on the chair. Pale face. I know I'm done. The Lu family won't protect him anymore. In order to push him out to take the blame. Lucy covered his face with his hands, immersed in great shame and pain. Lu Ting stared at the draft agreement as if it were some kind of poison. He knew to sign it. It means that he will personally uncover the scandal of the Liu family, pay a huge economic price, and lost forever to this any nominal rights. This is the ultimate violation of his pride and authority. But does he have a choice? The evidence in Zunayan's hands, especially the threat of real-time transmission, like the sword of Damocles hanging overhead. Do not sign. Liu Group could face a reputational collapse stock tomorrow. Prices even plummeted. The collapse of judicial investigations. For a long time, Liu Ting seemed to have exhausted all her strength and heavily nodded his head. I agree with 3 words. Weighs 1,000 caddies. Light as the dust of a sigh. Finally starting to settle. The process of signing the agreement was cold like a business acquisition. The top lawyers hired by the Liu family, to Zunayan by a senior lawyer specializing in infringement several and rounds medical of tit for tat negotiations. Zunayan got what he wanted, a sum enough to start a new life anywhere, and no huge compensation for material. A copy was officially released rigorous by Liu, but explicitly in the past. I dealt with matters related to negligence and a statement of apology and clearly cut on legal documents. Absolute personal freedom. Zhang Ru was taken away by the police for investigation. She has solid evidence on multiple charges. Also tried to buy off judicial personnel, led to facing a significant sentence. The Liu family abides by the agreement was offered to him. They even volunteered to provide some evidence. His exquisite and perfect masked life was a laughing stock after signing the agreement. Lock yourself in your study for 3 days. She looks like she's 10 years older. Sharpness she came out replaced by a profound exhaustion. She resigned from some of the core positions of Liu director status, become reclusive. That meeting, Su Nianzi's question. It became a nightmare that lingered for the rest of his life. To contact sent a long apology message. Even went to the apartment he rented temporarily but and waited downstairs. Didn't see some wounds. It can't be healed by apologizing. Once broken, it cannot be retrieved. Finally went to the foreign branch alone. Perhaps time and distance. Let him digest slowly this heavy guilt and lesson. The day I left the Liu family the weather villa, is nice. Zunayan only brought a simple suitcase. Inside are a few clothes I bought by myself. Books. That old photo and a letter of recommendation from Ziyan. No looking back. People come and go in the airport lobby. Zunayan took the plane ticket to the other side of the ocean. Giant birds of steel rise and fall through the huge floor. The warmth shines on her. The phone vibrated. It was a message from Ziyan. The takeoff went well. All your expectations. Remember that you are no longer anyone's victim. You are your own builder. Zunayan looked at this line of words. The corners of the very light, slightly really soft arc. He replied, "Thank you, teacher. The lighthouse has been course seen." Corrected. He turns off his cell phone. Pull up the suitcase. Steady steps towards the 3 years later, a Nordic country. The winter sun is cold and bright. Through the clean glass windows. Sprinkle a room with but simple a professional layout. Office. The bookshelves are full of psychology. Books on legal ethics. His degree certificate hangs on the wall. Master's degree in psychology and law from a top university. Reading an email. Discover a young woman from a distant land. The letter describes a similar experience was sent to an institution by his family suffering on the grounds of mental freedom and has the voiceover. Read it carefully. Meditate for a moment. Start typing replies on the keyboard. His fingers are steady. Calm eyes. The sun bounces in the ends of his black hair. When he was once pale, on the cheeks that have now regained their healthy luster. Soft light he was wearing a simple black turtleneck still sweater. Slender but no longer fragile. It's like bamboo that's been through flexible the wind and snow. Outside the window is a street view of pedestrians this peaceful city. Snow covers the roof. His past. Those dark, painful, angry and cold did not calculations, but they've been taken into his heart. Some locked boxes. They are no longer the nightmare that devoured him. It became his fuel to understand and fight injustice. The bedrock of his expertise. It has become that he can calm down to respond to this letter. He has helped some people through legal channels, support through public opinion. Pass a professional appraisal report. He keeps in touch with Ziyan. Occasional exchange of cases. Side by side through the dark. He even started writing some articles examining the boundaries of rights in the field of mental health. He did not forgive but the Liu family. Hate anymore. Is too exhausting. And he has more important things to do. Is right. True power is not about becoming but the evil. Ability to make the devil turn around and build your own light. After replying to the email, he picked up the cool coffee at hand and took a sip. Looking out the window at the mobile phone calendar reminder rang marked softly. Visit Xinsheng Public Welfare Law Clinic that was tomorrow. Him and some like-minded friends we and prepared and established into a disadvantaged group similar to his small institutions that provide free legal and psychological support. The door closed softly behind him. The keyhole makes a crisp click. This time it's his own. A future full of possibilities. And he will hold the key. Walk firmly.